All right, trying to time out my intro for Matei's podcast today. Uh, let's see how that goes. Here we go. Let's see if I can get it between the handles here. All right, let's mark it at 30 seconds. Fit Family Podcast presents the Family in Fit Family Part 2, entitled Tay. All right. The Hebrew word for Matthew is Mattiah, Mattityahu, and that is what my wife used to get my son's name. And we call him Matai. His full name is Matai Brighton Dothard, and let me tell you, he is as complicated as his name is. But to intro him best, let's go back to the two pregnancies. One pregnancy was chill. As a matter of fact, it took my first son 36 hours to be born. It represented how my first son is. Let's fast forward to Tay and his pregnancy. I'll reference the movie Alien. We know how that alien was born. There would be times my wife would be laying in bed and like a foot would push her shirt out. Like, I'm thinking, okay, there's an Alien remake in the boot here. And it represented him. He could not wait to come out. As a matter of fact, the doctor made me cut the cord. He goes, oh, why don't you cut the cord, Mr. Doctor? I'm like, I'm a trainer, you're a surgeon. Let's keep it, So he goes, you're gonna look kind of odd leaving the hospital. Yeah, he was a comic. So I had to cut the cord. But that was the last time he was restrained. It's funny. My oldest son looks like me, acts like his mom, being the techie and the, gaming guy. Now, although Matei does gaming, Matei looks like his mom, but totally acts like me, especially the way he played hockey and as competitive as he is. He's been on stage his whole life. From running around naked after getting bathed, he would not want us to get him dressed, so he'd run around the house, and it's like catching a greased pig, and it was no good. So he was on stage his whole life. And he would run into a room, fart, and go, hey, it was me, and he'd leave. That represents who Matei was as a kid. He has personality in spades. Everything is a contest. He would practice video games all week, and then he'd have, friends of his come over. He's like, oh, I don't play this video game very often, but we'll play it. Yeah, and he'd just trounce them. We had a trampoline. He would play out on the trampoline, and when he had people over, he knew how to do the trampoline better than anybody. We had a little basketball goal out front, and he would, always, hey, Dad, come, play horse or, play with me out in the basketball thing. And it wasn't to spend time with me. It was like, okay, I think I can beat him now. And of course, there's hockey. I'll let Matei do the explaining about hockey, but he's made me enjoy being a dad. And after he leaves our home for college, I don't even think I want to live there anymore because he's the reason to be there. And I've actually enjoyed so much my season. I talk about my season with my oldest son with martial arts and the different things we did together. But amateur athletics really allowed me to spend a good amount of time with Matei as his coach, as his father, as we travel for his hockey games. And it's one thing kind of being at a game. It's another thing when you travel, you're living with them, you're, eating every meal with them. And you really get to know your kid when you travel with amateur athletics. And if you can do it as a family, I highly encourage it. And as he grows into his own, playing the piano, building a company with a friend, and being a straight A student, we're proud of him on so many levels. And the only reason I kind of want to get older is because I want to see how he puts butts in seats. I just think whether he's in sales for a company, whether he pursues performing in the arts with piano or something else, I just think he is going to make people glad that he was born. So with that, I'm going to allow him to introduce himself. So let's see how that timed out. Oh wow, that was only 5 minutes. Perfect.